Well, there's been a lot of talk, but no real specifics yet when it comes to the Trump administration's promise of mass deportations. Many predict huge impacts on the labor force at construction sites, in hospitality jobs, and especially in agriculture.
You may not realize that here in Tennessee, more than 600 farms are already relying on so-called foreign labor. This past year, more than 7,500 non-citizens came to work here.
Demetria Kaladimos with the Nashville Banner joins us with this story. And Demetria, you learned this work is not only legal, it's encouraged by the government.
Absolutely, and it happens in our tobacco fields, vegetable and cotton farms, and right in the urban heart of East Nashville at the historic Holt Camp greenhouses. Workers come from Mexico for 10 months at a time to make sure some of the most beautiful plants in the world are plentiful and available. And the family paying their wages says it's a win-win program that should expand to all sorts of industries.
We are North America's largest supplier of African violets. We supply all, 50 states, large stores like the depots, Lowe's, different areas.
So when I buy a Home Depot African violet, it was probably grown right here?
There's a good chance that it was grown here, yes.
In the heart of what used to be a dicey neighborhood where bullets flew, flowers bloom year-round in East Nashville. Some of these hothouses date to the turn of the 20th century, but it was a German immigrant family, the Holt Camps, who continued to make this spot world famous.
In 1935 is when my grandfather received 2 leads, and he kept them through the war in the basement, and that's what he started working with.
Breeding plants that bloomed more often and dropped fewer flowers.
Today, every African violet that is on the market commercially, it has that trait.
Keeping blooms on the stem is one thing. Keeping workers on the job, quite another.
Number one, problems getting people to come, yes. To make them stay past 12 o'clock that day they started, that was a whole nother story. Greenhouses in summer are warm, okay, and they can be humid, and we also hustle at times during the busy times.
Like more than 600 Tennessee agricultural operations, the Holt Camps decided to look out of the country and embrace a Department of Labor program called H-2A. It's nothing new, been around since 1952. To qualify, the employer has to prove there are not sufficient local laborers to get the job done. There's typically no federal tax withheld from a worker's pay, but not every business owner can justify the costs on their end.
You have to provide transportation for them to come safely to the United States. So on the way coming, it's a bus ticket. On the way back, we fly them home. The visa is being issued close to the border. At different times, they have different interviews, so we don't know exactly the time when they can travel. On the way home, unfortunately, the cartels are waiting for these people to cross the border, and they know they have made money over here, and then they apprehend them, threaten them to kill them, or extort money from them, and maybe as much as what they have earned during the time they were here. So we prefer to fly them home. It's more expensive, but it's much safer. They worked for 10 months. Currently, we have 2 apartments dedicated to H-2A, and we have 8 people on the team. It's a prevailing wage that you have to pay. And then, of course, they have the housing provided, which is a big benefit, of course.
It's Cesar's first year on the job. He's got a wife and child back at home in Mexico and is saving to improve his home.
Para sustentar mi familia y para lograr metas que tenemos ahí juntos.
Alejandra, who worked with orchids back in Mexico, is here for a 3rd year.
When I came the first time, I didn't speak anything, English. But she teach everybody English,
Have you had any difficulty here with people being unfriendly or ever feeling scared about your status?
No, everything okay,
It's no secret that you're an immigrant yourself to this country.
Yeah, I'm a Tennessean with a German accent.
You must, though, have a special affinity for people that
are desiring to work and to fit in and to find opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. You know, for us, we have like 12 different nationalities here at the company, and really your requirement is to, you know, want to work. Tennessee has an E-Verify system, and you know we, E-Verify everybody that comes. And I'm a little bit concerned, of course, about the rhetoric that is going on, and it does leave room for, how to say, harsh action. In Europe, you have a really good guest worker program, and I think it'd be worthwhile to look and see how they manage it. I would think that every business has an opportunity to bring in temporary workers. These people have come for various reasons, and you know, we as a country, we need guest workers. I wish there was an easier way to welcome people wanting to work and getting the work done, and unfortunately that program is not yet well established.
Now, there are similar programs for non-agricultural jobs, including one for skilled tech workers called H-1A. There's been a lot of political talk about that. But the number of workers allowed is usually capped at about 66,000. In the next fiscal year, the Department of Homeland Security has made a temporary rule to let nearly twice as many people in under these special visas. But if mass deportation of undocumented people happens, those numbers may have to be revised yet again. So these guest worker programs are complicated. They can require some upfront spending. But guys, they have been proving their worth for decades now.
And I think
here at home, too.
Yeah, I think people will be surprised if these workers disappear, the holes it leaves in these industries and how that trickles down to our everyday lives.
Absolutely. They can't find someone that'll stay past noon in a hot greenhouse.
Right.
There you go.